Hey everyone, welcome back to Griffin, Indiana. We're here down at the dealership. It's just gone 7:30 in the morning. I've got on the road a little early because there's plenty happening up at the farm, which I'll show you in a minute. And you'll remember from last time, as we finished October, I was pretty keen to get that field that we ploughed sorted out with some seed, and so that's what we're about down here at the shop. We've bought some seed which I just want to put in the ute. You can see there we've also picked ourselves up a John Deere seeder which we've purchased, so hopefully that will do the trick, and we'll get going with some seeding. You can see there's also some Let's try this again. Oh, I have no trouble picking up two of these. There we go. That's much better. Yeah, so you'll also notice some other equipment there. So while I was inside, I heard that there was a couple of fields. The farmer needed a hand with his cotton, which came as a little bit of a surprise, but he had two fields to do, and so I went ahead and accepted those contracts, because doing two with the what is that? Hang on a minute. That's better. Doing two with the one set of equipment, and as you'll see when I show you on the map, they're right next door, so I'm pretty hopeful that our combine driver from before can come and run the combine for us, and we'll take care of picking the bales up later in the day when they're all ready. So that's all promising start to the day. Back up on the farm, it's a hive of activity. So you'll recall last time I talked about what we're proposing to and the deal that our bank was trying to strike with the engineering company that arrived in town, and the folks that provide silos and things. And so anyway, he's come to an arrangement between the silo company and the engineering firm, which will see him upgrade to a new fermenting silo and dryer with a bit more storage, and the engineering works from the contractors to take out the existing silo, and part of the deal is they get to keep the grass that it's full of. So there's 180 odd thousand litres, or maybe a little less now, maybe 160,000 litres of grass in there. So that's what we might do here, rather than risk the main street, is cut straight across with this implement on the back. And duck up the back road here, which tends to be just a little bit quieter. Yeah, so the cotton field you can see over there, just on the other side of this field. In fact, both of them. So while we're here, we'll just duck down and get that harvester going, and then we can head up and get our tractor sorted out. Just tighter than I wanted. Yeah, good on you. You're going to park right there in the way. Oh, seriously, this traffic. I like having the traffic on because it helps with the realism, but the fact that they come right up under your grill like this and make it impossible to move is very annoying. Yeah, so we might pull into our side road here. This is probably one of those pieces of equipment that would do better on a low loader or something. We might investigate that if we've got to move it. It's only just up here to the cotton harvester. Now, we've also got that field that we cut and started to ted last time, so we need to head up there and get the tedding completed, and there's some baling to do. At the end of the last episode, I ran the equipment up there, so let's just cut ourselves a headland here. It doesn't matter which field we do first because the equipment, well, both fields are owned by the same farmer, and so the equipment is owned by the farmer, so really I guess if we owned it we'd think seriously about joining it into a single field, but might be a long way down the track. But there we go. So a bit unexpected. Wasn't anticipating that there would be any harvesting contracts available in November, let alone a couple of cotton ones, which tend to be quite straightforward. So, well, at least that's the hope. So we'll, as I said, we'll just cut a couple of headlands on here, and then we can just put a regular hired worker on it, I hope. Is actually longer in this direction, so turning circle tends to be pretty good on a cotton harvester. I'm quite excited about all the work we've got going on up at the main farm. That's there are cranes and excavation equipment and all sorts of things getting stuck in up there, so I'm not exactly sure when it's finished. They've fenced off half my yard, so it makes it a little bit difficult to get through and move things around, but I think in the long run having that new silo will be a big benefit to us. And it's going in at a good time. You can see our finances have dropped down again. We lost about 4,000 to the overnight leasing charges on the equipment we're holding, and then the interest on our loan runs at about $750. So you remember, the interest rate we're paying on our loans at 6%, not the normal game 4%, so it just makes that a little higher. The loan's not enormous, but nonetheless every month it's money we've got to find, and without that cementing silo in operation. It means sort of contracts. And of course, we've got the 23 silage bales we finished up with last time, and then over the winter, the silage price should pick up a fraction, I think. So I'm hoping we can get rid of those at a good price and sort of generate the funds we need just to get through the winter. Also, our corn price peaks in January or February. I think we checked that last time, and so there's another 80 to 90,000 there. So financially, you know, we're doing better than okay, but we're certainly not flush with funds at this point, even though we've got a good base. And because so much of our money's tied up in the land that we own, we haven't really been able to convert it into the arable land. That big meadow's terrific, but it takes quite a bit of work to get that to the point where we can get a crop in the ground. So we're going to need to keep on top of that activity as best we can over the winter and see how we go. So let's leave this with our hired worker, and we'll head up and I'll show you what's underway up at the main farm, and let's see if we can start getting some of this planting done, or we'll also need to duck across and get that baling sorted out, because we need to finish baling those the hay bales up in field 33 today if we can. That shouldn't be too much of a challenge to get that sorted. We've got 2 work days in November, so we don't have to get all the chores done today. And I bought enough seed that I hope we can regrass the half of the meadow that we cut last time once we pick up the grass off it. There's a nice new 8350 seeder that should do the job quite nicely. Rather than try and turn in that top gate, I'm going to run in here. Just run across the end of the field. We'll just disconnect you there and back up a second. Should be able to fill that once we put a tractor on the seeder. I think we'll give the Kubota, and so you can see all the activity we've got going on up here. So plenty of big equipment in place. I think the plan, as I've understood it, is they want to get the old silo emptied and out. They've got a some cartage guys sort of making trips, taking the grass away, and they'll dismantle that one, and then they'll do, there's a little more excavation needed for the way the new complex works, and a bigger foundation because of the size of the storage. So I think the plan is to try and get that happening towards the end of today, which is why they've got the mixer sitting there and the concrete pump in the middle of the yard. So we'll just have to play out by ear and stay out of their way. What am I doing? It would help if I put seed in here, wouldn't it? Now we want to go with some wheat in this field. So let us get our course play sorted out. So a simple task, just to go into our worker here. We've got, whoops. We want to create a job. CP field work. Field position is here. Our target is just there also. We want to start at the first waypoint. We want to check 17.4 feet. We might check that once it's started. Number of headlands. Let's do 2 headlands. There's only one tool. We will start on the headland. Let's do sharp corners. We're going to go clockwise and we'll let, there is no island. And let's generate that course. Nearest waypoint and start. And we've got to tell you that we want to do it without fertilizer. Which means sewing machines deactivated. Okay, so that one's away, and we have some wheat going into the field, which is great. Yeah, so as I said, there's lots of equipment and things over here. I'll just sort of show you the perspective. You can see all of the things they fenced us to keep us away out of the operating zone for the equipment, and then they've brought in all of the materials they need, which they've stored over here. So I'm guessing I'm going to have a fair bit of cleanup to do when they're done, but it should be really good. And I can show you from menu the unit that we're going for. I think is in here. It's this factory here. So you can put grass or forage in and get hay or silage out. So I think that will be a big step forward, and I look forward to seeing where they get up to. So we'll leave them with that. We might head up to the other field where the baling is occurring, the hay baling, and make sure that tedding is underway. Yeah, so if we get you going on your tedding course, that should be pretty straightforward. It shouldn't take all that long to get this field done, and then we can come back and bale it up. Actually, we will need to run probably worth running the windrower across it. That might make it a bit quicker, and we can kind of halve the number of rows that we need to collect. So we might just watch that play out and enjoy a little music while we get through it. Top right of the screen, we've had something that's blocked by an object. So if we go up and have a look, and we'll find, there we go, our ute is in the way. Move back out of the way there, so that our seeding can continue. While we're here, we might just have a look how the seed level is faring. About half the seed, so it'll need a fill a bit later on in order to finish this field, but it's moving along at a fair old clip there and doing quite a good job. We need to head back down to the shop. What is interesting when it leaves just a little bit in the field there. We need to head back down to the shop. I remembered earlier on, but I forgot. Because this is a new field we've created, we've got no idea of the soil type or any of the data for precision farming. So we need to be getting the soil tested, and we could buy soil samples, vagaries of way it works. The system doesn't recognize our new fields, it recognizes the blocks. So we'll have to sample the soil manually, I think, because purchasing the soil information is not going to help us a great deal. And it's also expensive. It'd be $1,500 for that one and $3,600 for that one, whereas borrowing the Scout is down here in miscellaneous. Here we go, Azaria Scout. Oh no, that's not the one. The Scout is here. And we can lease that for $1,000 and a couple of days if we need to. So that's the machine that we need to pick up. We also need to take the bale trailer across to the where the cotton baling's occurring. So I think we'll duck down there. Okay, so here we are back at the shop. We can lease that Azaria Scout. Let's lease one of those. And we can use this tractor with any luck to take it back and drop it off on the way to taking the bale trailer. Will hopefully work fairly well. I do like this 6110. Nice little tractor. Much more a fan of this than the Xerion that's doing the tedding on that baling contract. Let's head on over. The cotton harvester's about 28%. It's showing on the contract completion, so 80% would mean it's got all the cotton off the field, which, working backwards, then 40% is half of the field harvested. So we're about 3/8 if you do the maths. Something's finished. I'm guessing that will be our heading. So once we drop this scout off, we can head on up and make some do the windrowing on that grass field and start making some bales. We can see one cotton bale in the field over there already. Just duck behind so we don't get in the way. It's very tight in the yard there. We can put the scout over here behind the spreader, which we'll also need to use. You can see I only managed to do one bale of the work around the house there. There's the spinneries on the way to where we need to go, and I'm pretty sure that's where both fields 13 and 14 need to deliver. We can pick that bale up that's in the field. This trailer only takes one at a time, and drop that on the way. Visibility is terrific in this tractor. Nothing coming from the left. Let's jump into the field here. For some reason it missed just a smidge of a row there. It missed a whole row. Goodness knows why. I'll put this in the loading position. Back up and see if we can pick this bale up. There we go. Winch it on. Off we go. So judging by that, we're going to get a couple, 3 or 4 maybe off this field. Our cedar is out. Just radio up to them and tell them to take a break while we go and deal with a couple of other chores. I think they're making good time, so let's just pull over here and make that call. So if you didn't know, these messages here are actually links to the vehicle and you can click on them to get back. In this particular case, I want to... Oh, he's actually stopped work, so that's fine. So I can go back to where I was. I just wanted to make sure we weren't continuing to pay for courseplay worker who wasn't actually doing the course. We'll resume when we can get back to fill the cedar. Keep a modicum of continuity to our movements. And see that yard is looking a lot emptier today because all the equipment's up at our place. I think that's the spinnery just over here. With our grass fields just up the hill behind those trees. Swing down there. Guessing they want it dropped in front of the garages. Right. That was straightforward. We can take you back when we go. So there's all our equipment for this contract. Nice big continuous baler. Looks like everything's done there. If we run over it quickly with the windrower, we'll see how wide the windrower is, and we'll either run that on the same courseplay course that we've just used, or we'll attempt to combine 2 rows into one. I'm not sure what the best strategy here is going to be. Just pop you back out of the way. Let's see here. No, maybe it's going to do 3 into 2, I think. Although it might just be easier to run the same course and then we can just run the mower, the baler on exactly the same course, I think. So this all looks fine. We want you to go to the first waypoint. There's no offset. Keep you that side and let's see what you do. Our ability to keep paying for these workers is diminishing as we watch the money drop. We really need to finish one of these contracts before we run out of cash, so hopefully that will. I'll see you back at the cotton field. I've arrived back here and what I've noticed is that that first bale has delivered against field 13, so it's not really a problem because we're going to cut them all, but I won't deliver any more into the spinnery until we've cut all of the, or we've baled all of the cotton now. So we'll just leave this this tractor over here. He can't be far off dropping another cotton bale, and we'll head up and put some seed in our seeder. Go pretty close to finishing that actually on that load of feed, so we'll take a risk and head on back. There is one little job I wanted to do. You'll recall the other day we had trouble getting the plough in that gate to the field that we're now feeding, so one of the many neat things around this map is the configurability. So let's just pull up here and do a little, inspired by the contractors that are working in our yard, we can demolish the gates and give us a little bit more width to work with. And I don't think we need gates on there, with certainly nothing wide enough for our for our plough, but that'll make it much easier to get equipment into there. They're still continuing. The other thing it might be a good idea to do is we can leave this for the minute. And get over and start the tedding on that grass that was cut the other day, because that's going to take quite a while, and I want it all turned into hay, and then we can pick it up at our leisure. Works a little bit better if we drop it down. I think we have a course. Great job. Field work. We need... And the course we want to use is field, let's try, east single mower. And so load the course. Why did that not load the course? East single mower. Course, let's try activating it, that'll work better. And so we take the first waypoint, which is where, just up in front of us. What are you gonna do? Wonderful. It's a beautiful thing. That looks pretty cool. And she's going to trundle along. This will take quite a while. You can go back to the mower, which didn't quite finish last time, I don't believe. Where are you up to? Yep. So you are on the same course, nearest waypoint, and you're good. Okay. So those two can keep working at this field, and we'll head back up to our baling. We just got the call back here to field 14, where we've got one more bale on the field. We're about to finish a third, and we've almost finished the field. Just got this little strip over here to do, so I thought I'll get him going on field 13. And then we can head up and check our other baling contract. I suspect the windrowing is finished, so we can run the bales off there and well, actually on the way past we can have a look at our place up on the hill just to see how things are progressing. But this is working quite well. You're going to have quite a lot of cotton harvested, so the folks at the spinnery will be quite busy, I would have thought. We'll just see how that all goes. We'll just go and cut the headland. It's not as wide a field, but it's the same length, so just doesn't take much to pick up a bit of dust from the cotton. Coming up to drop another bale, so we'll drop a worker in here and head up to our farm just to check on how our contractors are going at this time of the day. They're probably thinking about knocking off. Our seeding's all finished over the road there. Oh, and you can see there the old silo's gone. Looks like they're pouring some concrete there, and they've got one of the trusses that'll hold the new silo going in, so it looks quite impressive. Big concrete pump doing the business, so we might stay well out of the way, but that's great, making good progress. So let's head back up to our baling contract. So there's some big mounds there to get over. Hopefully our baler won't get too much indigestion. But I think we'll just bale this up, and that will pretty much finish up our day, I think. Right, so let's see, what size bales are we set here? 220s. If we do 240s, not wrapping them, so the bigger the better. And let's try unwrapping you. Turn you on. With any luck, we should be able to power through this. Certainly picking that edge up well. We'll just clean up these headlands so we're not driving backwards and forwards over them. You've no doubt noticed the light is fading fast, so being November, and we've also got a bunch of bales scattered all over the field. I've got no idea how many we will need to finish this contract. So the thought is we'll take this row to the end and then grab the trailer, and we'll do one load down to the delivery point, which will tell us exactly what we need to deliver. And when we come back next time to finish it off, there's not an enormous amount of work, but I'd prefer not to be playing hunt the bale in the dark, but it will also help us with the movement, so we'll know how many to deliver to finish the contract, and then what we can take back to our farm, because these hay bales will do great feeding our livestock. So that's the plan. Let's just get this big mountain here and drop the baler here. Come on, pick it up. There you go. One up here somewhere. There's one. We need 4 more. There's one. Two. Three. And 4. Okay, now where are these delivering to? Baling in field 33 is going to Larson's. Excellent. Pick you up. And I'll see you down at Larson's to drop these off, where we will finish up for the night. Well, it wasn't at all eventful. We've arrived back here at Larson's, so we might just back in here. I think they close at 6, so we're... what are we doing here? Jump out. Put those in there. Hopefully that will do the trick. Find out. What was that? 58%. So call it 6 out of 10. So we probably need another 8 or 9. 14. No. So we probably need another 2/3 of what we just dropped off, so that's going to be about another 10, give or take. So that's okay. We know we've got those ready to go on the field, but that'll do us for now. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Thank you very much for watching, and come back and see me next time to see how we get on getting that new fermenting silo in, and finishing off the baling contract and the cotton harvest. Thanks for watching. See ya.